Hey, what's up guys? This is Anthony from AnthonysCustoms, and for this review we are looking at the Marvel Legends Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2 GAMORA. This is from the second wave of Guardians Legends for 2017. This figure is actually surprisingly good. I wasn't expecting to be too interested in it, just because the last Guardians movie figures were just okay, and these ones, they seem to be stepping up their game, and really they're a step above the standard Marvel Legends, to be completely honest. Clearly we have original sculpts for most of the parts for these guys, and they're loaded with paintwork, and the articulation mostly functions, so they're pretty impressive. So let's go ahead and get her off the stand and take a closer look. This figure stands just about 6¼ inches, which makes it just about 16 centimeters. And as you can see right off the bat, it has a lot of color on it. Of course, her skin is green, and they did a really good job with that. It looks to me like all of it is molded except for maybe the chest part. But to me, that looks like it might be molded also. I can't quite tell because the jacket hides it. I think the torso is actually blue and painted green, but they did a good job of matching the colors. She's got the little white and silver details throughout her shirt and her pants. Her boots are a different color. They painted the buckles on her straps here. They painted her hands up really nicely with all the different rings and things. So that's really cool. Her hair has the appropriate shading on it. And then her face. It has a really nice paint job. So I'm very happy with how this figure turned out. It would have been nice if they painted up the buckles on her boots. They didn't do that. Maybe they're technically supposed to be black. I'm not going to fault them for it because I don't know for sure. But they do seem like they probably should have some kind of buckles. Now she does have some accessories. We have both the collapsed and the full open sword. The collapsed one can fit in the holster on her leg, and obviously the full one can go in her hand. Now there's really no paint on these guys, but they look okay. They're sculpted well enough. And we get this big gun, which is sculpted really nicely. It's got a nice silver finish to it with kind of a black wash. And it looks pretty good, and she can hold it, so no complaints there. As far as the articulation goes, on her head, it's really sitting high on a ball peg. I don't know why that happened. Her sister didn't have that problem, but now she does, so that's kind of a bummer. So it does move around a lot on top of that peg. So you can see right there, the head is just way too high on the neck, and there's really nothing you can do about it but leave her head pretty much where it is and just rotate it, and that'll be your best option. But it's way too high on the neck, so that's really disappointing. But the hair is nice and soft, so if you need to, you can rotate the head around. You do have the soft jacket, which is a separate piece, so that's good. I like that the jacket's painted blue on the inside. It's nice and clean. You can see, again, more detail in the paintwork around the back of the jacket. As for the shoulders, you have pretty much your standard shoulder hinge. No bicep swivel, though. I don't know why we can't get a bicep swivel on female characters. It's kind of annoying. But you get the full range from everything else, and then you get the elbow hinge, which is 90, and you can then rotate that around. But the way they sculpted it, you really can't rotate it around that well because this comes up here, and then you can't move the arm any farther over. So it's kind of disappointing. It does limit the posability quite a bit. For the wrists, you have a hinge and a swivel, so that's pretty standard. She does have a diaphragm joint in there. It's almost impossible to see it, but it is right there, and you can lean her pretty far back, which is really impressive. And then you can lean her just a little bit forward, and then side to side. Not the best, but it does function, and you can rotate her around a little bit on there, but not a whole bunch. Well, I guess if you do it just right, you can get it pretty far, so that's good. Her little holster thingy for her sword is a separate piece, so that'll just move around however you need it to. Her hips go pretty far out to the side, a little bit farther than everybody else's, so that's really nice. Bringing them forward, they go pretty much straight forward, no problems there. They don't really go too far back, so pretty standard, I guess, but a little bit extra splits. She has thigh swivels, which work nicely. Double jointed knee gives her full 180, no issues there. And then lastly, we have the ankles, which go really far forward and really far back, and the ankle rocker is just a swivel, so that's a big bummer. All of that posability in the hips and everything, kind of useless if you can't really use the ankles, but I guess you could just leave the foot out like that and leave it off of the table, I guess. No ankle rocker is a bummer, but the rest of the figure is really nice. A little bit of a hang up here and there for the articulation, but mostly it's a pretty cool figure, so I'm going to go ahead and say I recommend it, guys. You might want to pick this up if you're into the movie figures. Thanks for watching. Make sure you subscribe to the channel. I have new videos up every single day. We talk about action figures, movies, TV shows, video games, all kinds of fun stuff, so make sure you come back for that. Give the video a thumbs up if you liked it, and in the meantime, keep collecting.